just does so much to provide leads at the earliest part of this. And that really helped our detectives be able to ultimately identify and narrow their focus. Then, of course, when the DNA hit comes back and you're able to identify someone that you believe is a suspect, again, there's so much more that goes into having to actually present a very complete and full case in court. So I think the one thing that we didn't emphasize enough, and I really want to always recognize the role of community members, for witnesses, for people who are willing to talk with our detectives and our officers, because ultimately you're going to need those kinds of statements and the information that only they would have to substantiate and have the strongest case possible. So I'm going to say all three of those aspects are what helped us identify and ultimately charge him.
Sure. Does anybody speak Spanish? Okay, that's enough. I know that a lot of us are parents, a lot of you are parents. When you deal with these cases, it's always great to bring some closure in some sense, but when you're dealing with a toddler, with a 3-year-old, it must feel even a little bit better. Can you talk about personally how that makes you feel to kind of close things like this, or come to this kind of solution?
Sure, and again, I always have to say what an honor it is to speak on behalf of the work. When we do these press conferences, you are looking at the men and women who go home after what they have to hear and after what they have to see. And I know you're asking specifically about children and the experience for being a parent when you see that. But that is reality, because every single case that these men and women get, they approach and they attack it the same way. But we always say, and we understand, it is more taxing when you realize that it's a child. So certainly I'm not going to be able to speak to the experience of every one of these members, but I am going to tell you, I think the way you can imagine with any kind of work that you've done, when you have worked tirelessly, when you have done it with purpose and meaning and understand what it is going to do for families. Of course, there's a great sense of relief at the same time, and we can never say this enough, it's only a small measure of closure. And I think that's the most painful part, is that nothing is going to bring Mateo back. Nothing is going to bring any one of these members back. But the pain when families are walking around knowing that someone did this to someone that they care about and love, and to know that you had a role in being able to take that person off of the street, to make sure that they don't do this to another family and to another community. It's incredible, and I honestly cannot praise and say enough about what our detectives are doing. And of course, the other thing I have to say is we always look at this through the lens of the wellness of our members, and we appreciate the sacrifices that they make and the things that they have to do to keep themselves performing the way that they're performing.
Thank you all. Thank you.